of, here, oh, it works. Formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat with the, not formal beginning, but blessing of our candles, over the candles rather. If I could speak tonight, it would be helpful. One of those crazy days. So if we're able to, we rise for just a moment as we kindle the lights, and now we can do it because sundown is just about to come. So. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. You all can be seated if you'd like, unless you don't want to, in which case you can stand the whole time if you want. All right, we turn over to page 5, where you will find Shalom Aleichem as we join together. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShared, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boachem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzeitchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. We turn over to page 11, where you'll find the formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat with our series of Psalms. We join together page 11. Lecho neranena, lecho neranena, lecho neranena, ladonai. Lecho neranena, lecho neranena, lecho neranena, ladonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, nekadma fana bitoda. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, ladonai. Ki el gadol Adonai melech gadol kol olayim We conclude the psalm over by the arrow on page 12. Arba'im shana kut bedor va'omar am toy levavheim v'heim lo yadu derachai asher nishbati v'apihi im yevaun el menuchati. Page 14. By the arrow, as we rejoice in celebration of Shabbat, the heavens and the earth rejoice as well. Page 14 by the arrow. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, umelo, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, umelo, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Ya'alo sarav kol asher bo az yiranenu kol atzeyar. Lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek v'yamim b'emunato. You'll kindly turn over to page, where are we here? Page 19 at the bottom as we read together our blessing for Shabbat that comes certainly from Israel, from a Tel Aviv prayer community. Let's join together the bottom of 19. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your coming. Bring with you rest and peace, following a tumultuous week filled with so many demands. Bring the space in which, with others and alone, we can shape an infinity of dreams. Bring the hour of forgiveness in which to hear the pounding heart of another human being. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your Creator. Blessed is your light. We turn over to 20 by the arrow as we join together. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Page 21, you'll find the 29th Psalm. I'll ask if you're able to rise as we join together. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, kol Adonai b'koach, kol Adonai behadar, kol Adonai shover arazim, vayshaver Adonai et arze halavanon, vayarkidem kemo egel levanon vesiryon, kimoven re'emim, kol Adonai chotzef lavodesh, kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, kol Adonai yecholel ayalot, vayechesof ye'arot, uvehechalo kulo omer kavod, Adonai lamavu yashav, vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. You are welcome to be seated. We turn over to page 23, where you'll find Lecha Dodi, as always, our hymn that welcomes in Shabbat as our bride or queen. We'll do the first two verses, the middle verse, and the last two verses, and after which, where you see the red print on the last verse, we will rise, face the door, and welcome in the Shabbat bride or queen into our midst. So page 23, first two verses. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha lecha dodi lekrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha ki mekor habaracha mehirosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. 24. Hitoreri kiva orech kumi ori uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. 25. Yaminu semol tifrotzi v'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yad ish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'b'tzahala toch emunei am segula boi chala. Lecha dodi lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. You are welcome to be seated. Page 27, you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat. We join together. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodod la-Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Alehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha baleilot, alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodod la-Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Ki simachtani Adonai b'fo'alecha, v'ma'asei yadecha aronein. Ma gadlu masecha Adonai, me'od amku machshavotecha. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodod la-Adonai, Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. We conclude the psalm over on page 28 by the arrow. Tzadik tamar yifrach ke'erez balevanon yizkeh shetulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai Tzuri velo havlatabo. Page 29, if you'll read with me the 93rd Psalm in the big print in the middle of the page at the top. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you were enthroned. You are eternal. The rivers rise up, Adonai. The rivers raise up their roar. The rivers raise up their waves. Above the roar of the vast sea and the majestic breakers of the ocean, Adonai stands supreme in the heavens. In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time. Eidotecha nemnu me'ad lehaveitcha na'ava kodesh Adonai liorech yamim. Kaddish Shatom, the mourner's Kaddish, you'll find over on page 30. All of those reciting, you're welcome to rise and join with me. Page 30. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yalma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach leolam olomei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You are welcome to be seated. So for those of you who are come on Sunday morning, some of you, into our God Talk class, which we've had because of snowstorms and ice storms, we've had only a couple of sessions. But we have been trying in the class to define the word spirituality. It sounds really easy, right? But it is not, because we've come to the conclusion that there's no one definition that will suffice for that word, spirituality. And it is in Hebrew ruchaniyut, which is a newer, it's really a medieval invention. It's not a word that we find in the Torah specifically. But think about for the moment what the word spirituality might mean to you. For instance, when we think about spiritual moments in life, what do we might focus on? We might focus on moments of elation or great emotion. For instance, right, our spirituality or our spiritual highs in terms of marking transformations in life. That's one of the more popular ones, right? If you've had a baby before, you understand, or held a grandchild, you know what that really is talking about, right? Those moments that are first times, or what one of my teachers, Neil Gilman, called liminal moments in life, brief occasions that uplift us, uplift our soul, and that go beyond the ordinary. And again, those could be things like seeing your child up on the bima for the first time as a bar or bat mitzvah, taking a car out for a spin, right? You've got your driver's license, if you remember that experience, perhaps, maybe. Special birthday, a milestone, or an anniversary that you've reached. Those are all simple moments, but they have great power for us, and we see them as spiritual highs or spiritual moments. And as David knows in particular, as we discussed in class the last couple of times we've met, spiritual highs can also be thought of in the context of a beautiful or exotic location. So last week in class we talked about places beyond the ordinary that we might feel an overwhelming sense of the divine or of God's presence, like the snow-capped mountains or waves crashing on the seashore, or if you see a rainbow or even a double rainbow, those are really cool. Or if you've ever gotten off the subway in New York and you walk up the steps and you've been underground from one place to another and you get it, what do? You walk out the steps in Manhattan and you look up. Even that is an awesome moment, right? And there, in this case, the physical world fills our spirits in different ways. Well, there are moments and locations can certainly be found that are like these within the record of our biblical and our rabbinic Judaism. Think about Abraham. Right? He made a covenant with God as we studied last week, right? The Israelites, what did they do last week in our Torah reading? They stood on the foot of Mount Sinai and received the commandments. Those are two examples of transforming moments, whether in time or in place or both, as in the case of Mount Sinai, right? A mountain, we see the description of the mountain is all a fire in essence, right, of smoke, and we hear the shofar blown, and we're standing in this awesome, looking up at a mountain. So it's both physical and psychological, or in terms of an event or time. But in reality, these moments are really exceptions. How many of you go around feeling Mount Sinai every day? Not really, right? Certainly we don't. There are periodic peaks in time and space, if we're lucky, right? We have these special moments. Again, the birthdays, the experiences that touch us each day. Some of them may be very simple. Again, it may be something that we see as we're walking around the world around us. But these spiritual experiences are essential parts of Jewish life, but we know we don't live on those experiences, right? We don't live on the mountaintops. We live where? In the plains and the valleys, if you will, right? Well, I wish I could live on the beach. I wish I could enjoy that every day. I say to myself, I'll never get tired. I'll get a spiritual high from it every day if I were there. My guess is if I lived there every day, I probably would become used to it, right? So we live in whatever our plains and valleys are for each of us. We live amid the everyday concerns, certainly the ordinary aspects of life, whether it's our worry for our family, our school, education, the homework we have, the work we've got to do, our safety, our relationships, our health, most certainly, and the welfare of our community. But here too, among the ordinary and the mundane, we need to find spirituality. How do we find that is the question. And I think we are getting to that slowly in our class. We are coming to see some of these answers, but in my mind, it's no mistake that on the heels of this revelation that we read about yesterday, we talked about last week, actually, not yesterday, but last week, the revelation at Sinai, comes today's parsha, which is Mishpatim. And if you know the word Mishpatim, the text that we're studying, it's a parsha that has no grand events, nothing magnificent with location, right? Or descriptions of things that would be beyond the ordinary, it seems. In fact, Mishpatim is basically a collection of laws that pertain to living every day. Very simple. Rules about marriage, personal injury, you hurt me, I get to hurt you, or what happens if you hurt me, can I hurt you? Employment, what happens, do I get paid, when should I get paid, how does that work as an employer, as an employee? If I lost my ox got out of the yard, and what do? Oh no, and Linda found it. What's her responsibility? What's my responsibility? Financial practices, and then certainly the integrity of the human being, both the stranger, those who live among us who are gerim, who are strangers, who are not part of our community, and those with whom we live who are our neighbors. So the list of these little laws, if you will, is exhausted, and some may even say a little exhausting. If you're not into legal mumbo jumbo, but it sends a very clear message about what Jewish spirituality really is all about. It's not about the grand moments. Those are great. It's not about the grand locations. Those are great too. But also, and most specifically, Jewish spirituality is about the ordinary of life. That's what spirituality really is for us as Jews. Can't speak for other traditions, but that's what it is for us. The Torah teaches us that spirituality is found in the way that we treat each other. It's found in the interactions that we have with one another, in the sense of care and the respect that we show for our fellow human being, and the connections that we create with others in our community. That's spirituality in a Jewish context. It's not just how we feel, but if you even saw my message from earlier today, it's how we act, right? Parshat Mishpatim teaches us to look for the holy in life, not just on those great mountaintops, but in the ordinary paths that we each walk every day. And Judaism gives us those tools for finding God in the everyday by making the everyday world more godly. By when we say, hey, we're going to make backpacks for kids for the elementary school, that is a holy act. That is a spiritual act, right? That is spirituality in its essence, really. Any of those things that we do for one another, or even just how we engage with one another, that's all part of what Jewish spirituality really is about. So as you celebrate Shabbat this week and take a breath from the work week, and that is certainly a spiritual time for us, a time to take a breath, a time to recognize the world around us, a time to focus our attention on something other than the ordinary, right? So as you celebrate this Shabbat, consider how we can use God's tools, which are the words of the Torah, the mitzvot, the relationships, the commandments that we have with God, the laws that we have for Jewish living. Think about those as our path to finding the godliness, not just out in the world somewhere, spiritually speaking, but within ourselves, right? And within others in the world with whom we share. And it's not just an exercise on Shabbat. Shabbat's a great time to do it, but it's an exercise, says the Torah, especially the Parsha this week with its many, many laws and instructions on how to go about living in the world around us. It's a task that we can do each and every day of our lives. So I hope you'll keep that in mind. It's one of my favorite Parshiot, one of my favorite Torah portions of the entire year, because it again reminds us that everything we do in life can be considered a holy act. Everything we do in life can be a connection to God and thereby spiritual in nature. It's just how we frame it and how we think about it and how we go about, again, our intent in what we do. So keep that in mind this Shabbat. Good things to chew on from this parasha as we turn to page 39a. And if you want a reminder whenever you walk in, part of the spiritual nature of our surroundings, I had a class in here from Montessori group of 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th graders, I think today they are. And they looked and they said, well, there's gold things up there on the wall, right? They didn't know what to call it. And I had to explain to them that it's representing the 10 Commandments. And then, of course, went on to say it's much more than just 10 Commandments for us. It is even more in the context, it's not about a number of 613, right? That's the number the rabbis say of the commandments, but it's a reminder of the values that we hold as well and the acts that we need to do to uphold those values. So as we turn to page 39a and we face the Aron HaKodesh, if you'll ask if you're able to rise, and we will begin our evening service together. Page 39a. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach leolam va'ed. Hamevorach, hamevorach leolam va'ed. You are welcome. welcome to be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher Umavir yom umehevi laila mavdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai tzvaot shemo El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ari v'aravim. We join together page 40. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu u'v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam v'ed ki hem chayenu v'orech yameinu u'vahem nehege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla v'ahavat chal tasir mimenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uvshochbecha uvkutmecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein eitnecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. We join in the English together on 41. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. We turn over to page 44, Umalchuto Baratzo, leading up to Michamocha, the words we sang as we crossed the Red Sea from slavery to freedom. Top of the page. Umalchuto Baratzon kiblu alehem Moshe uMiriam uvnei Yisrael lecha'anu shira B'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh norati lo sefele malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe Ze'elianu v'yamru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov u'galo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai gal Yisrael. Page 45, you'll find Hashkivenu, our prayer for shalom, for peace, as we end our day and begin a new one together. If you'll read with me on the left side in the English. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully, Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us, and you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. We turn over to page 46 as we rise for Vishamru, our passage from Exodus reminding us of our connection to God through the observance of Shabbat. Definitely a way to connect spiritually. Page 46. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam berito lam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam berito lam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam oti leolam oti leolam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam berito lam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam berito lam Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam berito lam. We remain standing for Chatzi Kaddish, middle of 46. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba v'yamad yivrach yidutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael bagala ubizman kari v'yimeru amen yehish me rabba mevorach le'olam alal me'almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran me'alma v'yimeru amen. You'll find the silent Amidah this evening, pages 47 through 52. As always, feel free to add your own personal thoughts to the words on the page. When you're through, you're welcome to be seated. we turn to page 54, where you will find Kaddish Shalem. Yitkanal v'tkadash me Rabba v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechonu v'mechonu v'chayerucho v'Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imeru. Amen. Yehesh me Rabba mevorach le'olam alal me'almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yishma minaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha. B'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'yama v'imeru. Amen. Titkal bal tzaloton v'uton d'chol Yisrael kol dam v'hon v'shamaya v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim alen v'yal kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru imru. Amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru. Amen. We turn forward in our seat order to page 173. There you'll find our Misha Berach for healing those in need of prayer, whether it's psychological, physical, spiritual, healing for our world. And again, the far left side on 173, I have our list here. I'll name those who are on my list. If you have a name to add as we sing our Misha Berach, we'll go around the room and do that as well. So this evening, as we prepare for our prayer, we keep in our thoughts Elizabeth Alfieri, Victor Alfieri, Bonnie Carlton, Natalie Kogan, Megan Contigno, Gary Kramer, Michelle Kramer, Barbara Feingold, Bruce Fine, Gittel Glasser, Suzanne Gott, Francis Haber, Arlene Hoffman, Nadine Hyman, Peter Jacobson, Joan Klepp, Tom LeBlanc, Hannah Lippman, Joel Lowenstern, Rivka Markowitz, Marjorie Morstein, Susan Aller, Bernie Rowe, Genevieve Sanders, Harriet Siegel, Esther Wiener, Michal Bat Devora, Shulamit Bat Gittel, Yisrael Bat Sipora, Devora Bat Avraham Fasera, and any names we add at this moment. Keep all of them in our thoughts as we turn again to 173 on the far left side in the small print. Mishe beirach avotenu mikor haberach leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe beirach imotenu mikor haberach la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Refuah shlema to all in need. We turn back to page 56, where you will find Lenu. Ask if the two younger gentlemen in the room will be so kind. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Ben, Joshua, if you'll come up, and the two of you will open the ark for us as we turn back to page 56 and rise for Aleinu. Aleinu, לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס עולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. כי המלכות שלך היא, ולמעט תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד. Thank you, gentlemen. You may be seated. Appreciate it greatly. We turn over to page 58, page 58, as we pause to recite Mourner's Kaddish and acknowledge those Yortzites that occur today and in the week that will be coming, including Rabbi Barry Rubin, Fanny Leffert, Larry Balban, Louis Brand, Morris Honigman, Paul Rovin, Morton Wiener, Samuel Bookbinder, Sarah Glickman, Solomon Paul, Jake Bergen, Ada Rovin, Esther Palowitz, Harry Zaglin, Ira Gordon, Jeanette Gelati, Joseph Ginsburg, Larry Clary, Larry Hyman, Mark German, Martin Morrow. We keep also in our thoughts Donald Siegel and any others. Page 58, anyone reciting will rise and join with me, Kaddish Hatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach leolam elomei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudisha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. You are welcome to be seated. Mindy, you are my BMO buddy. Well, it's really Barry, but you're tomorrow, so you're pinching for today. Does that make sense? Well, you're on for tomorrow, actually, but we'll make you do it today. How's that? And
Okay, I'm here.
There is
No.
class, yes, there is here.
I saw that on
Yeah.
your thing.
Yeah.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Our 110-year celebration kickoff this month with 3 events. Age to Perfection is Thursday with Name That Tune. Marvin Bren has a, he's doing, what do you tell me, 30s, 40s, and 50s. And he might throw in some 60s. So I guess he's expecting an older crowd. I don't know. But anyway, and on our potluck, next Friday night is our potluck. And we are going to have a anniversary celebration at the dinner. And on the Saturday night, the 21st, is a family Havdalah. So if you plan on coming, the first part is for the little people, and then we'll do adult things. So please, please, please register just so we know how much food to have. Sponsorship opportunities are still open for our weekly Oneg and Kiddishes. You can use a birthday, anniversary, a yahrzeit, a commemorative, whatever floats your boat. Reach out to Diane, and she'll tell you the available dates. Our Purim Shalach Manot is in full action. Some of you in here know that very, very well. So we need you to get your orders in by the 19th. Because we have 2 more bakes, so we need to know how many we need to make. Oh gosh, don't even go there. Please. I'm having nightmares. Oh God. Our blood drive with the CBI and TOI, this time we alternate. So this time's at TOI on March the 8th. So you can register on the link that's on, it came today on your Shabbat message. And just push that link and the times will come up. And if you use an old bulletin, just use the barcode. Don't use whatever else it says. Just use the barcode and it will take you to it. So please, please sign up, because we all know that this city, this country is in dire need of blood. So please, if you're going to donate, do it at TOI on March 8th. There is no Sunday school. I hear a few yays. But we do have adult education with Rabbi Cohen. The next scheduled Wednesday school is February 18th. And Immediate Hebrew with Fred is on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. And the Torah class with Fred on Tuesday is 5:30 on Zoom. And I thought we had, well, I know, I talked to her today, but I didn't wish her happy birthday because it's tomorrow. Lauren Weiner is having her birthday. Sunday, right. She won't be home till Monday night, but whatever.
She'll take your phone call.
She'll take your phone call. And on the 17th is Bob Nemitz. I haven't seen him in a while. Anyway, Steve and Sheila Burkholz on the 18th is an anniversary. So no candy, you'll have to save Lawrence.
I know, I'll have to, wait.
Oh, God.
Thank you. I mean, the worst comes to worst, it would have just come with you, but anyway. Yes, so please just be aware that next week for our Shabbat potluck, whenever we do, we have our brief service. We'll have a very brief service in here, just some songs and things to get us into Shabbat mood, and make sure we always have Kaddish. We always have Mourner's Kaddish, so if you're coming for that purpose, rest assured we will have Mourner's Kaddish, and then we'll have our potluck right after. So it'll be by 6:30-ish or so, we usually get started, people come in. We do our short service in here, and then do Kiddush and Motzi and begin our potluck together. So please do that. And again, the special dessert, I believe, in celebration of our 110th. And the family Havdalah, if you like Havdalah and want to come, you're certainly welcome. It's geared towards our smaller crowd of little ones, right? But that's geared towards our religious school students, basically. And our young adults also are going to be gathering. So we'll do one big Havdalah, and then we'll kind of break off. Kids will have an hour of some fun. And I think there's a game night planned for those who are young adults. What is a young adult? I'm not included anymore. And you aren't either, I say to tell you. It's roughly, post-college, 21 to 40 or so. So that's the rough estimate. Married, not married, significant other, not significant other, right? Family, kids, whatever it is, but that's the age group. So you can put yourself in there. If you want to shave the beard and dye the hair, maybe we can get in. I don't know. They might let us in. If not, you know what, David, you can go downstairs with the little ones. They'll take us. They'll take us. But it's certainly, we certainly will not turn anybody away who wants to just enjoy a little bit of a Havdalah. But then we'll have our young adults have their own program, and our little guys have their own program. I shouldn't say little guys. It's our, B'nai Mitzvah age and up and down from there. But our religious school students and parents and anyone else who wants to join. So lots going on next week. It's a very busy weekend, but a fun one, and it's kind of our kicking off of our 110th. Formally, we've been kind of already doing it, but we wanted to have a kind of a formal kickoff. And I believe Di will be at the potluck dinner on Shabbat and be able to meet people and have a hello and say things. She is a new softie, a new grandmother to Minnie Joe. How about that for a good Southern name? She just had a granddaughter. Her daughter Ariella had a baby a few weeks early. And that was kind of unexpected, but that happened earlier this week, so we will get a chance to meet her formally next week. Again, make sure you get your shalach mano. We should also say that if you don't want a bag, right, then let us know. We've had a few people call in that say, please don't give us any hamantashen. We don't eat them. I don't know who doesn't eat that, but we don't want them. Don't bake them for us. If you're one of those people, please call in and let someone know, just because then, again, they've been baking at a furious pace. Some of you have been helping. Thank you. And we just need to make sure we have enough. Yes? It's a lot of fun. If you want to bake, there's still opportunity for baking. I'm sure you yes, 2 more bakes. So you won't turn anyone down if they came in for a bake. So talk to Mindy if you'd like to help out next week, right? Just Monday and Tuesday of next week. So just if you get a chance, you want to do it. And if you don't know, there's other jobs. You can help clean up the kitchen. You can help move things you can bag them. You don't have to be the ones doing this if that's not your thing. And by the way, you get paid in rejects. If there's any rejects, that's your pay. That's what you get. So there are always rejects. So you will walk away with a rejected hamantashen, if nothing else, for your efforts. Anyway, that's it for us. We're going to go in just a moment, into the back for Kiddush and Motzi. I know there's a lot of cheese and crackers and some yummies, so please stay and enjoy and talk to people. If you don't recognize somebody, introduce yourself. I think we all pretty much know each other, this group today. But be sure to do that. And we will end with a little bim bam Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam bim bam, bim bam bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. We'll head in the back, little Kiddush and Motzi. Warm challah for everyone.
together